The part of my face-to-face training that I'll be sharing with you today is the part where I will be showing teachers how to create on-the-spot questions with their students using Socrative. So we've already created an account. Let's go on in and do a quick on-the-spot question. The address is beta.socrative.com. Your students' page will look exactly like this. They'll just click I'm a student here while you'll click I'm a teacher. Again, this is an on-the-spot question, so you haven't pre-made anything in Socrative. You probably have already thought of your questions, or maybe not, but they're not pre-made questions. So the students will just go ahead and click I'm a student and put in your room number, and you will click I am a teacher. Here you need to put in your username and password that you've already created. And then this part you can be displaying on your up on your board or up on your screen, and students can see the number to join here. And this is going to be a quick question. If you wanted to do a pre-made quiz that you've already made, you would click Start a Quiz. If you wanted to create a quiz, you would start here on Manage Quizzes and go from there. But for right now, we're doing a quick question, so just click Quick Question right here. I'm going to go to a split screen here really quickly so you can see this side will be what the teacher sees and what you would be displaying on your screen if you choose to put it up on the screen. If you're hooked to your desktop computer with your projector or whatever. This side will be what the student sees on their device, be it their smartphone or tablet or computer. Students will join the room by entering the teacher code. This is my code. And then this screen shows while the student is waiting for you to create the question. You can see here, so far you haven't created the question because it says no activity. Let's go ahead and pose a multiple choice question to our class. So once I click here, you can see this will be results as they come in for me. This is what the students will see. As you can see, there are no answer choices listed for either the teachers or the students. That's because this is a quick question, a question you have just posed to the students. Here's how that would work. Right now, for example, in second grade, we're working on plural nouns. So I may stop and pose this quick question. Which one of these choices is a plural noun? A, cat, B, cats. And then the students would have the opportunity to put in either A or B. Of course, if they put in C or D, there's no way that we can stop them from doing that. But you verbally say the question, give them the choices, and then they choose it. Of course, you could also write the questions down on the board or have them write it on their mini whiteboards or some other format to make it more visual for your English language learners, or even have a picture of one cat or multiple cats, whatever works for your class. So I'm going to go ahead and have this student answer correctly, which was B, cats. You can see that I've got a few other devices here. I've actually got my smartphone and my Android tablet here as well. This number indicates the number of students that you have in your class. Once the student selects the choice, they need to click Submit Answer. Now watch over here and you'll see this student's answer pop in. The other two devices have already answered. That's why you see numbers here. Here goes this student's answer. And here it pops in. So now of my 3 students, I can see on the spot that 2 out of 3 answered it correctly because the correct choice was B, and 1 out of 3 answered it incorrectly. At this point, the teacher decides whether it's something that needs to be retaught, pull a small group, move on, however you want to make that work. The one thing here is you don't know who answered which choice. That's one of the reasons why the pre-made questions are useful if you want to pull specific children to help them on a topic. But if you just want to get a quick temperature of how the room is doing, the quick questions are a really good way to do that. If you go back to lecture, the students will just see this until you finish the quiz. When you're all done, you would click Finish. But we're not going to do that just yet. Let's look at another one of the on-the-spot question types. So the student still sees this until you launch a new question. Remember, this is the teacher side. Let's try a true-false question this time. So it asks if you want to start another quick question, just to make sure you're not moving on before you're ready. Again, no question appears here because this is an on-the-spot question. Remember, if you wanted to pre-create questions where the question actually shows up for the students, you would do that in a different part of Socrative where you would create a quiz and save it. But for now, we're doing an on-the-spot question. Again, sticking with the idea of plurals, let's say that I pose this true and false question to my students. They're waiting for the question. They can see the choices, but they can't choose one yet because they haven't heard the question. Let's say I said true or false. If you have a word ending in CH, such as bench, you should add ES to the end to make it plural. So now the students would either select true or false, depending on whether they know the rule or not. So I'll have this student pick true. And my other students will submit their answers on my smartphone and my tablet as well. You can see the answers popping in there on the teacher side. Oh good, I can see that out of my 3 students, everybody got it right. That may be a concept that I don't spend a lot more time on because I know my whole class is understanding the concept of adding ES to a noun that ends with CH. Let me show you the last quick question choice, which is a short answer question. Again, they ask for confirmation that you want to move forward. And again, the students see this over here while they're waiting for you to pose the question. By the way, you can pose more than one of each question type. I'm just doing that to show you each one here in this tutorial, but feel free to do more multiple choice questions or all multiple choice questions or all short answer, whatever your preference. So let's look at the short answer. In short answer, you have a few options. You can either pose the question orally or you can type in the question. I'm going to go ahead and type it in. Let's say the question I want to say is, write this word in plural form. The word I want them to pluralize is party. Then you have to choose whether you want to let them answer multiple times or just once. Let's say that they go, oh, I did it wrong, and they want to re-enter it. You would click unlimited if you want to give them that option. I'm just going to let them enter it one time. This is different than the others because you can find out who answered what. So you can either give it anonymously or require them to put in their name. I'll go ahead and do it anonymously. You can see here, once I click start, the students see the question posed here up above. So you can either say it orally or type it in here or both. And then the students type it in. Change the Y to IES is the rule they've hopefully learned. Once they submit their answers, you can see here, this looks a little bit different. Let me go ahead and have my other devices answer, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. I'll have my smartphone spell it incorrectly, P-A-R-T-Y-S. Submit that answer. There it is. And then I will have my tablet spell it correctly. And it's capitalizing sometimes, so it's going to come out different on the teacher screen. If you don't want to have these duplicates between this one, for example, and this one, the reason they're both there is because this one has a capital and this one doesn't. You would need to specify with your students if their device automatically capitalizes or if the students choose to capitalize, you would need to let them know so that you don't end up with duplicates. Let's talk about how this screen looks different than the other 2 quick quiz question screens. This is a great screen to start off class discussions. You could even talk, for example, about how these 2 responses are the same. Why did they both show up here differently? As far as capitalization, that could be a conversation. If you want to remove it because it's a duplicate, you could just click that here. Now I can have a class vote. Let's see what that looks like. Of course, you don't have to do the vote. You can skip it if you want to and just pose another question or finish. But let's see what happens when we start the vote. oh, this report pops up. If you want to see who said what, you can have the reports downloaded here. But because I didn't choose to have the students put in their names, it doesn't matter to me who said what, so I won't choose a report. If you did put in for their names to be stated as they put in their short answer, you probably would want one of the reports, either the email report or the downloaded report, so that you could see who answered which question, and again make small groupings maybe according to that. So as you can see here on the teacher screen, we've eliminated it to only 2 answers here on voting, and the students now see the choices upon which they can vote. So we've discussed the reason that the other one was incorrect or a duplicate. Maybe we've even had a discussion on the rule here, and then the kids get a chance to vote on the one that they think is correct. Or you could have them vote on the one they think is incorrect. It depends on how you pose the question. So we'll go ahead and say that the question posed was, now that we've had a discussion, now that you've talked to your buddy, which of the choices is the correct way to write party in plural form? So let's have the students submit their answers. There's my computer student. Let me have my smartphone student go ahead and put in the answer as well. You can see here, oh, I added another student on another page. Don't worry about that. Because I was testing something. Oh no, someone still doesn't understand it. So this again is a chance for you to go ahead and reteach it, pull a group, poll the class, who thinks it's A, who thinks it's B, maybe pull a group like that, and that's how you do instant questions on Socrative. When you're all done with your questions, you just click finish. And back to your main dashboard you go. And that's how you create quick questions on Socrative. Thanks for watching.